So you want to start your own high-ticket coaching program in 2023. Guys, my name is DeAndre Saxton, and I built my first seven-figure coaching business between 2020 and 2022. So in this video, I'm going to give you everything that you need. Now, this is going to be a 30,000-foot overview. I'll probably be creating more videos teaching you the nuances of every little step. But in this video, it's going to be your all-in-one, taking you from how do you create an offer, starting out all the way to the very end, scaling it and getting it to your first $100,000 a month. So in this overview, let's go ahead and make it happen. Hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. So what we're going to be starting with is this. We're going to be looking at three big pillars here that you need in order to scale your business to 100 grand a month. Now, at my peak, I was able to do about 200,000 a month by myself in my own coaching business. Now, you can have a team of people, you can do it by yourself. How you want to run your business is completely up to you. But it's going to fall into three categories. Category number one, it's going to be a product and an offer. So you have to have something to sell here, right? Now, you can sell other people's offer. That's technically being a high ticket closer. That's kind of not what I teach here. I teach you how to create your own, but you're going to have a product that you're going to sell, and not specifically sell for a high ticket price. High ticket being, I like to say more than $5,000, but technically high ticket is $3,000 and up. But really, I want to focus on, $5,000 to $10,000. That's like the sweet spot. So you have to think to yourself, what is the product that you're going to offer? So you have to think to yourself, what is the skill? What is the knowledge? What is something that you are really good at that somebody would be willing to pay for? Now, if you're in a business opportunity, like teaching somebody how to sell on Etsy or Amazon, or teaching people like business acquisition or running ads, that's a lot easier to sell for $5,000 to $10,000. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, DeAndre, I'm in the fitness niche. Or DeAndre, what if I just want to teach people how to, play video games? Can I sell that for a high price? Now, it has to come down to this. It's not always the money return on investment that people are looking for when they're buying a high ticket program. It also comes down to this: compressing time frames. All right. So one of the things that I like to focus on is I like to compress people's time frames. So let's just say, like, for example, my software, Hero Hub, I had to go through a whole bunch of videos for people to teach me how to use my software and how to develop it, and talking with developers. And I spent tons of time learning how to understand my software and build it out. But guess what? Those people that I learned from, my mentors that taught me how to do it, they compressed time frames so that in a matter of about a week, I was able to really build out an entire infrastructure for my clients. Because they compress time frames. Would I have been willing to pay for that? Of course. Gratefully, it was free here on YouTube University, but they compressed my time frames, which saved me so much time, gave me so much more results, and there wasn't technically a return on investment because it was just teaching me how to use the software. So when you're creating your product, if you're having a business opportunity, for example, teaching real estate people how to get more sales, or teaching people how to sell better, that's fine. That's easily how to sell over $5,000. But in this one, it doesn't necessarily have to be tied to a monetary amount because you can compress people's time frames, okay? Now we go to the offer. And a lot of people always get stuck on the offer. DeAndre, how do I structure an offer that people are willing to spend this kind of money for, right? I hear that all the time. That's almost like the number one question people ask me is the offer itself, right? So you think about it as like this. An offer is a bundle. It's everything that's included inside of your course. So if you're not selling just a course, in another video, I'll talk about how courses are dead and that the new future is masterminds, okay? So think of it as this. The course is the content, right? The videos that you're recording that people are watching to help them get the results, right? The step by step. If you're only selling those videos, guys, a lot of the time people can find that for free on YouTube. A lot of the businesses that I ever started, I learned right on YouTube. So you're not really selling a course. You're selling everything that comes around it, which is why I specifically focus on high ticket masterminds. Now, what's the difference between a course and a mastermind? Really briefly, a course, like I said, is selling the content, but a mastermind is selling a group community. Okay, think of it like this, and I'll say this example many times on my channel. Think of it like a train, right? You have a train and you have train tracks, all right? So the rails or the train tracks are what's guiding the train car, right? It's where the foundation is. So that in this example is your course. Those are the videos. That's the structure that the people are following. That's the rails that are taking people along the path. But the body, the car itself, right? The train itself is where all the people is. It's where the communion is. It's where that's where everything is happening, right? That's your mastermind group. That's where the people are following. So you have your underlying course, but really what you're selling is a community of like-minded individuals that are all in the same path, moving in the same direction, really focusing on building an amazing community of product where people can go back and forth and share ideas to scale their business, their fitness, or whatever it is that you're offering. So I'll make a specific video about the offer. I don't want to get too much into it, okay? So that's step number one. Step number two now is traffic, all right? Where are you going to get these people? Where are you going to find them on TikTok? You're going to find them on Instagram, right? You have to get traffic. There's many different ways to get traffic, and we'll cover it really briefly. You can have paid traffic. You can have organic traffic. Almost when I built my first 7-figure business, it was all organic traffic of working with influencers, right? So we'll focus on traffic. Now, step number 3 here, and I have notes here just so I can stay on track here. The next one is a funnel and marketing automation. So once you already have a product that you're ready to sell for a high ticket price, and now you have the traffic, right? Number 3 is you need a place to host these people, right? They need to you need to gather their information. You need to get their email, their phone number, these different things so that you can communicate with them. They can get into your ecosystem. So the third and final step is you're going to need a funnel and a funnel system and marketing automations. All right. So those are the overlying 3 big tier view, but now let's break those down into different nuances, okay? So let's go into it. We're going to go back to product and the offer. Okay, so the first thing that you have to understand is the mindset of what it takes to sell a high ticket coaching program. Most people have never done this. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video right now, you've never actually done that yourself. So what that means is you're going to have a huge mindset shift. So let's talk about the idea of a mastermind. So this is something that I learned from my mentor, Sam Ovens. I did not create this myself, but I love what he's speaking about. So the difference, what is a mastermind? First of all, it's a group of people coming together in community that are moving in the same direction, that have the same similar values, principles, business goals, and life goals. And there's an underlying layer where they're trying to achieve something together, whether it's a business result, a personal result, whatever it is. Now, I highly recommend people, and this is what I offer, is selling a mastermind versus just a course or high ticket courses by themselves, a one-off course. Because the cool thing about the mastermind is this. You could charge a yearly fee for this. That's first of all, as a business standpoint, that's one of the biggest benefits is you're charging a yearly subscription for people to be a part of the mastermind. So think about it as this. In my first coaching business, I would charge $10,000 for my mindset coaching program, right? And it was a 6-month program that people would go through learning the principles that Bob Proctor had gathered for, 60 years of his life. And so I would teach people this 6-month program, but a year and a half in, 2 years in, they were still attending, which was great. But a couple things weren't perfect, right? First thing was I was still having to do a lot of work for things that I wasn't getting paid for it, right? Doing Zoom calls and live events. Another thing that was happening is people were kind of flaky. They would come in, disappear for a couple months, come back, going forth. And that's the kind of things that you'll see in a course is people, you probably taking courses yourself, right? That's probably why you want to create one. Is people would flake going back and forth. See, when you have a mastermind, what you're focusing on is you're not letting everybody into your mastermind. This is your community. It's only 50, maybe 100 people max that you're focusing on building a culture within it. And because people are paying an annual fee, they're more likely to show up because when people pay, they pay attention. So when people know that they're going to be paying an annual fee, a couple of things happen. One, they show up. But number 2, as a creator yourself, you are focused on creating new and amazing opportunities for your mastermind to learn, grow, and develop. It keeps you on your toes because if people are not getting value, they're not going to renew. So the difference between a mastermind, once again, and a course is the mastermind is focused on the community. And I'll have, like I said, subscribe below and I'll create a whole new video on that. Okay, so the next thing we're talking about is the offer, all right? Now that you've got your offer created, we need to do something called an MVP, a minimum viable program. Here's one of the biggest mistakes that course creators make is, it's funny, I met with my friend. Remember, if you haven't watched my announcement video for this for this. I told you how I helped my friend start her program, and she did $100,000 in her first month just for like a day and a half of me consulting her, because I know how to do these things. I know how to sell things, but I just had to organize it into what we're doing now with High Ticket Hero. But with that being said, one of the things that she was doing was she was recording videos, right? She was recording videos and like trying to do step-by-steps and then try to sell that as the course. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make for a couple reasons. One is your time. You're not getting paid for your time. It takes a long time to create videos and funnels and all. It could take you months, if not, weeks, if not months to do something like that. Why not get paid to do it, right? Second thing is you don't have POC, proof of concept. Proof that people actually want to buy what you want to teach. You want to make sure that you don't imagine sitting here for months and not having an idea. People actually want to buy this. You launch it and nobody buys it. That would be so disheartening, right? So you need POC, proof of concept. Third thing is maybe you probably don't even know how to teach it correctly. Maybe when you are recording all these videos, you skip a step or you didn't explain something correctly. And so when you launch these videos to your people, they feel stuck and you don't know if you taught it correctly, and you're not able to make adjustments. So when you do an MVP, a minimum viable program, you're actually teaching your high ticket program live. Yes, live with your people. So let's just say you map out a 6-week program. Each week, week 1, you're going to teach it live. So you have a 1 week where you're teaching the program. Number 2 is your mastermind, where you're bringing people together and they're going back and forth. Maybe you're answering any questions, right? It's not so much a Q&A, but it's people coming together, moving in the same direction, bouncing ideas back, right? So 1 week, you're teaching the course. Number 2, mastermind. And you'll do that back and forth for 6 weeks until you've completed your product. Once you've completed your product, you're going to notice a couple patterns. One of those patterns are going to be this. When you get on that mastermind call with your people, you might see a couple patterns of questions coming up like, hey, well, how do I do this? And how do I do this? And can you re-explain this again? And what you'll start to do is you'll start to take mental notes, or if not notes, you'll start to know that, hey, I probably need to re-explain that a little bit better. Maybe I need to add an extra module. Maybe I skipped a step, right? So now what you can do is you can go back, fix that module, or add an additional module or train it better, right? And you're going to put that recording that you did along with any supplemental modules in your course. Okay, so let me repeat that one more time. Your actual first version of your course is just literally going to be the Zoom call recordings that you did during your MVP. Right, this is so key. And the first in your group, you're going to be focusing on just that course. Okay, and teaching it live. Now, let's move over to the next part here, which is your beta group, right? So who are you actually teaching? So you are going to do something called a beta group. A beta group is the first initial people that come into your mastermind, where you're not focusing so much on making money and scaling and doing $100,000 in your first month. Now, some of you may do that because you've already built an audience, but really what you want to focus on in this beta group is a couple things. Like I mentioned, number 1, POC, proof of concept. Do people want to buy what you're offering? Because if you notice that you start talking to people and they're not really buying, then you need to make adjustments to your offer. And talking to your people privately behind the scenes before you launch out officially to people is one of the best things that you can do, because you can make adjustments to your marketing, right? Now, another thing with your beta group is you get live feedback from your people, right? That beta group, right? That first 5, 10, 20, however many people that you want, those people are going to help you develop your program and give you all the nuances that you need to add, all the modules that you need so that you can create a winning product for your mastermind group. So, and number 3, you get paid. You get paid. Guys, it is so important to get paid when creating this work, because it's going to take you months of work and effort and back and forth. And one of the best ways that people can vote that your product works is them paying you. So making sure that beta group, that they're paying you so that you have the resources to work with them. And that goes back to that high ticket program once again. By the way, if you're liking this content right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be putting out content like this, giving you everything that you need to get started, right? All the little hacks. So back to pricing. When you charge a higher price, what you're able to do is it gives you resources, right? So let's just say you're going to get 3 clients. So out of your following, you're going to get 3 clients. So let's just say you're only charging, say, $100 per person. So that's $300. And let's just say in your high ticket program, you're charging $5,000. So those same three people, one of them you may earn 300, another one you did 15,000, right? By the way, when it comes to sales, it's just the same. You're getting 3 sales. One of them is just valued at 300. The other one is 15,000. So let me ask you a question. If you're going to be doing this full time and you really want to invest into your people, you really want to build an amazing product and program, which one of those two examples would give you more resources for you to do that? Now, the obvious answer is the second one, the latter, right? Now you have $15,000 to sit here. Let's just say you only get 3 people in your beta group. You have $15,000. That allows you to pay your rent, any expenses, any software, and allows you to take the time to invest into building an amazing environment and program and mastermind for your people. Versus if you only got $300, you have to have a day job. You have to go get more clients. You can't even service the clients that you just enrolled because you got to go get more just to pay for your software and expenses to run your business, right? So what that charging a high ticket price allows you to go ahead and build an environment for your people so you can build an amazing product that your customers love, that you're proud of, and that you can take to the moon. All right. So that comes down to your beta group. Now, next one, systems and operations. So we're going to be going over now into the next category, which we talked about, which was that funnels. Remember, so what we're talking about here is those three overlayer, and then these are like the different little modules that are in between it, okay? Systems and operations. So you need to have some systems and operations in order to scale. Now, the cool thing about me, when I first started with Bob Proctor, I literally went from not knowing how to get any customers, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my rent, to literally the next week I did $100,000 cash collected in my bank account. Now, technically, on the outside, it looks like an overnight success, but really, I had years of experience in high ticket sales, systems, operations, phone sales. I had scripts. I had everything in place. My systems and operations were in place, so all I had to do was take out what I was doing, implement Bob Proctor's program and credibility, and my business took off overnight. Right? So you need to have some types of systems and operations in order to build your business on the background. What are some examples of that? Things like a funnel, a landing page. So when people land on your Instagram, they can click the link in your bio and go do different things, right? You can send them to a wait list. You can send them to a launch page. You can send them to a VSL, aka a video sales letter. You can send them to your software. You can send them to do different things, right? You need to have some type of systems, and that's just one of them, right? Some types of systems and operation. Then what happens when they opt in? Automatic emails going out, retargeting, a phone script. What happens from the point of somebody, landing on your page to watching a sales video to building enough interest to want to book a call with you, right? How are they going to book a call? How do they book a call with you, right? Do you texting back and forth with an appointment, or do you have an automatic calendar? So when somebody books a call, what happens? What emails go out? What automations? What trust builders? How do you get notified? Now you get on a phone call with somebody. Let's just say it's a Zoom call. What happens on that Zoom call? What do you say to that individual so that they're willing to buy your $5,000, $10,000 program within 45 minutes on one call, right? How do you talk to somebody so in one call they like you and trust you and buying from you on a 45-minute call? That's a system right there, right? And then when you enroll somebody, how do you collect payment? Do you send them a link? Do they come, hang out with you a little bit later? Like, what are the different things that are happening during this point, right? That's what we talk about systems and operations. What is your client acquisition system? All right. Next thing here, sales and sales training. So this is so key here. And this is something that a lot of people get so nervous about. They're like, DeAndre, what am I supposed to say on the call? I have never sold something for $5,000. One of the first things that a lot of people have is they have a limiting belief. They're thinking to themselves, like, I've never sold anything more than $1,000. How am I going to charge $10,000 or $5,000 or $8,000 for this? Well, the first thing we have to get over is your limiting belief. And it goes back to the offer. I'll make a whole video just on offer, explaining all these things so that you know how to get past the next levels in your business. But sales training. What do you say when somebody gets on a call with you so that they are willing and able to buy from you? Like, what kind of psychological systems are put in place so that that person wants to be on the call with you, that they want to purchase from you, that they want to be a part of your community? What do you say? What's the flow so that you don't have to be so pushy, Oh yeah, that's a lot of that's like a limited belief that a lot of people have, is they feel like they're being pushy or they need tactics or strategies in order to close sales, and it's not true. You just have to understand what sales is and have a system to able to do that. So one of the cool things that I did with Anna, like I mentioned before, she called me crying saying, DeAndre, how do I sell this? What do I say? And she had all the problems that we just talked about prior to this video. And so once we built that structure out, we had to move her over to the sales call, right? What do you say on a call? She's like, I don't have any experience in sales. I've never sold anything at this expensive. And I said, you know what, Anna, just follow my system, follow this script. And I took her through each section of the script. And I got her comfortable enough so that when she got on a call, she was able to enroll people in her program. And with that, she enrolled 30 people into her program in her first month, right? So because it's not about what you say, it's how you say it in something of sales like that. So understanding sales is so key, all right? Now we go over here. We talked about pricing. We talked about your beta group. So now at this point, you've already mapped out your offer. You've already mapped out your funnels. You've already built everything out. Now it's to go out there and start selling to your beta group. Start getting out there and getting people enrolled, right? Within 2 days of me putting together this offer, I already had people paying me. That gave me proof of concept. That gave me proof that about even creating videos like this, that people were actually interested in the experience of how I built a 7-figure coaching business in the high ticket space, and that I had experience that people were willing to learn and willing to pay for. So that allows me to create content like this and to go out there and show people that there's actually a market for something like this, right? And the only way you get that is in your beta group, people validating that they want to buy what you're creating. Now, let's go to client acquisition methods, okay? So we talked about in that overall traffic section here that there's 2 ways to get traffic, right? Organic and paid. Now, this is completely different on everybody's situation, okay? It depends on how many followers you have. Are you starting from scratch? Do you have some money to invest? It's different. So let's talk about the organic side. I started with organic, right? Because obviously when I took off, I had no money in my bank account and I took off completely 6 figures a month organically. Now, in order to do that, you have to create some type of free content. Whether you decide to use YouTube, like for example, I've been making videos for years on YouTube, or if it's TikTok or if it's Instagram, you probably already have a platform where you can go ahead and create free content for people. It can be a webinar, it can be a VSL, or just be teaching and being a personal person. Creating content where people know, like, and trust you and know that you've been consistent enough that they're willing to invest and part with their dollars and that they can invest in you and that you will help them get that result. That takes consistency. That's why I'm creating videos like this, so I can show people that, hey, I have a new offer, I have a new product, and I can consistently get on this YouTube and teach people how to do certain things, right? So that's the organic side. The second side is YouTube ads, but that's what we'll be teaching, but ads in general, right? Ads is when you spend money in order to get paid traffic, all right? Because one of the downsides of organic traffic is that it's free, but it's slow sometimes, right? You got to start creating content and all these different types of things, and that can take time. But if you have a little bit of money, you can invest in some ads. It could be Google ads with YouTube. It can be Facebook ads, Instagram ads. There's different types of ad platforms. So when you spend $1, you get back $2 or $3 or $4 or however much you optimize. Now, one of the biggest mistakes is you're not going to be running ads when you're first starting out, right? Because you need your proof of concept. You need to get those barriers. Imagine running ads and you don't even know if your offer works or if your systems work, right? So you have to get your first couple customers, your first 5, 10, 20, whatever you decide, customers in organically to verify everything from the funnels to your offer, to your systems, to your messaging, to your delivery. The last thing you wanted to be doing is spending $200-$300 a day in ads and not even know if anything works, because if it's not working, where do you fix it? Where are things broken at, right? But then what you're going to do is you can scale later on. So let's just say you get 5 people enrolled into your beta group and you made, $40,000. Now you could take some of that money. Let's just say you take $15,000 of that and you can put that into an advertising budget that will allow you to continually get new people into your system. All right. So we talk about all of this stuff. By the way, I know you're probably overwhelmed at this point. Just take a little breather right now. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. There's a lot of information here. But like I said, this was the ultimate guide from start to finish, right? And in my program, High Ticket Hero, we cover all of these things. You can find out more information about this in the link in the description and join the wait list, okay? So now, so we talked about organic ads. Organic methods. We talked about paid methods. And finally is fine-tuning your operations. One of the biggest things that people or not even people, one of the biggest reflections that I had is my business ended up self imploding about 2.5 years in. And it was for many reasons that I talked about. If I didn't talk about before, I will create a video about it. And it became to systems and operations, right? My personal life got involved, which I was distracted, going out. I was living in downtown Miami, but then also I wasn't able to scale with all of the systems and operations, right? I didn't have SOPs. I didn't have infrastructure, right? I didn't have a lot of the things that I was stuck, right? I was doing 50, 80, 100 grand a month, but I didn't have any operations. I was by myself. I didn't have any salespeople. I didn't know how to run ads. I didn't have all the things that I learned later on. I was able to scale, but I didn't have those basic operations where I could pass it off to somebody else. I was an operator. I was working within my business, not working on my business. And so the next thing that you have to learn is how do you actually offload those menial tasks like outreach and sales calls? And how do you pass that on to somebody who's trained and sometimes even better than you so that you can focus as the CEO of your company on things that really matter, like product, like getting people results, like ads and scaling and all these different things so that you know exactly how to take your business from $10,000 a month to $100,000 a month to $100,000 a week. That was the biggest mistakes that I wish I knew, not what I know now. And that's why I work with other people's organization. I have mentors like Sam Ovens that taught me how to do certain things so that when you get to 100 grand a month, you can do it consistently and scalably and with less time because you have operations and systems in place. And you know exactly what to do when you wake up in the morning. Your team knows exactly what to do, and you just go from there. All right, guys. Now, if you follow this system from creating the offer to, oh my gosh, what is my knowledge? What do I want to sell? All the way down to the point where you're selling your first couple people into your beta group. What happens after that? Well, after your beta group, you've finished people through your 6-week program, 6 or 8 week program. What happens then is that original course that you've created, you're going to put that into your membership site, which is like where you host your course. You're going to put that there, and then you're going to continue to scale. You can do another group launch, but preferably by this time you have some money for ads. We can turn on some ads and continue to scale, right? But during this time where you're teaching your beta group, you're focusing on your people, you're focusing on and honing in on your program, but you're also creating content, right? You're still making YouTube videos. You're still creating content on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, still building up your audience, still building up your credibility, still being consistent. So when you launch again, people are more likely to trust you, especially when people in your first beta group get results. Get them the results so that you have testimonials and people that are happy and trusting, because you want to take care of those people that trusted you when you first launched. They didn't know, right? You had a good offer, but they didn't know if they could really get results. So they took a leap of faith in you joining your beta group. So you want to focus on getting them results in that first group, because that first group is going to be the group of people that you can eventually turn into testimonials. But that money you can use to run ads and continue to scale. So guys, from A to Z, this was the ultimate guide of how to start a high-ticket coaching program. But now you know specifically a mastermind program in 2023 to take you from maybe making 5 to 10 grand a month to earning 5 to 10 grand a day, all by scaling it, by utilizing your knowledge and building a community of like-minded people that know, like, and trust you and respect you because you're helping impact people in your space. Guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Remember, if you want to learn more about the High Ticket Hero program, right now we're in the waiting list phase. Go ahead and click the link in the description. You could check out the Hero Hub software. You could check out the wait list. Everything that we have, it's right there. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched up to this point, I support you. I'm here to build it. We have a community that we're going to be building here, and I'm so excited to be the person to help you change your dream. Time for you to be a hero in your life. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.